Okay, welcome to Michigan City Port Authority Board of Directors meeting on March 7th at 5 p.m. First thing we call to order is approval or corrections to February 21st meeting minutes. Approve. I got a motion to approve.
Second.
Minutes have been approved. Report from the harbor master.
All right. Well, this Wednesday we have an update meeting with Larson Danielson and Edgewater Resources to go over where we are on the 700 and 800 electrical upgrade project. The electricians have been out there most days pulling wire and making connections. We still are short the 4 distribution boxes that we need. So hopefully we'll find out more about that on Wednesday on when to expect those. We've started putting safety ladders back in, putting the marina back together. As we find things that got damaged over the winter, we're making a list and starting to repair those. As you notice, there's 1 boat in already. As we get towards the end of March, we'll start putting some more in. Usually the charters like to come in the later half of March. Technically, they can come in at the beginning of March with the agreement we have with them. Most of them wait till towards the end of the month just because you can get a nice day like Saturday and then a not so nice day like today. So that's where we are. Unless anybody has any questions, that's all I have.
Reports from the assistant harbor master.
Bruce has.
I just hope we haven't fished those things out of the water yet.
No, that's on our to-do list.
That's in your okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
We've been brainstorming a little bit on what's the best way to do
Yeah,
that.
that's gonna be a job.
Yeah, I think we got a plan now though.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry about that. Mary Ann?
I don't have any much of a report. I says we're still got people calling for slips. Payments are coming in. And that's about it. The phone rings more when the sun comes out.
It's funny how that works.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have Terry Greetham from Michigan City come up and do a presentation right now for the Singing Sands and other events going on. So with that, Terry.
Thanks, Doc. Again, my name is Terry Greetham. I'm the Director of Special Events for the City of Michigan City. This year, the City of Michigan City is sponsoring 7 major events throughout the year, which is basically the Singing Sands Sand Sculpting Festival, which I'll talk about in a minute. We have the Kitty Parade on June 25th. That same evening, June 25th, we have Venetian Night. The Patriotic Parade this year will be held on July 2nd. The fireworks will be held on July 4th, as they have in the past. And then we're bringing back Oktoberfest back to Michigan City. That'll be held on Labor Day weekend. And then our Michigan City Festival of Lights, which is in coordination with the actual lights that the park department puts up. But without going through all of those, I thought I'd talk about the 4 events that really impact I think the Port Authority and the boaters here in Michigan City. It starts with the Singing Sands Festival. I believe Sock passed around a partnership deck which talks about all of the events. I'm not going to go through it page by page. You can take a look at that, and I think Amanda, you and Dan and I are going to find some time to sit down and talk about some of that. But the Singing Sands Sand Sculpting Festival, the first event I'd like to talk about is June 3rd, 4th, and 5th here in Washington Park. This is a brand new event. It's never been done here before, and to my knowledge and to the research I've done, we've never had a major professional sand sculpting festival on the shores of Lake Michigan. Currently, the only one out there that's even close to us right now is in Port Huron. It's the Blue Water Festival. So the Singing Sands Sand Sculpting Festival is a 3-day celebration of Michigan City's beautiful lakefront and beach, and will be held June 3rd through the 5th to kick off summer. The centerpiece of the event will be a professional sand sculpting exhibition and competition, drawing some of the world's most talented and well-known sand sculptors who will create incredible works of art in the city's famous singing sands. The festival will include live music featuring well-known local and regional acts. We'll have local food vendors as well as art, craft, and merchandise vendors to really create that large festival feel. The event will actually be held in the area of North Point Pavilion. It will be a ticketed event, which means the entire thing will be closed off. I was talking with a few people. The idea is we haven't established the ticket prices yet, but they'll be somewhere in the area of $8 per day. But we're going to offer a reduced ticket price to Michigan City residents, and I also think it's fair that we offer a reduced ticket price to our boaters. They spend a lot of money here. They're part of our community, and so we will be offering a reduced ticket price to our boaters as well. The event is, if you want more information on the event, you can look up thesandlovers.com. This is the company we are partnering with. They are professional sand sculptors as well as a event management company. They produce, I believe, 5 or 6 major events around the country. They know their business. Right now, our target is somewhere between 10 to 15,000 people over the weekend. We'd like to obviously get more, but if we can hit those numbers somewhere between 10 and 15,000, I think we'd be successful for the first year. One of the other festivals that was produced by the Sand Lovers, in their first year, they had 15,000 people for their first weekend. By the second year, they had over 60,000 people, and by their third year, they were looking at close to 100,000 people for the event. I don't see any reason why we couldn't do the same. We actually sent 2 pounds of sand to the Sand Lovers from our beach. And after testing it and working with it, they said it's phenomenal, and they're very excited to come here and work with it. So something very exciting for the community as well as for our boaters. I think it'll be a type of event that everybody's really going to get behind. The next event on the schedule will be June 25th here in Washington Park. We're bringing back Venetian Night. Of course, everybody knows Venetian Night will be a boat parade. Featuring our boaters here in Michigan City, and realistically, if boaters from other communities would like to come and participate, we're happy to have them. Still a lot of details to work out. I was talking with a few of you that may have some experience from the past, and I'm going to be needing some help because I haven't produced a Venetian Night myself. So anybody who wants to get involved, I'd love to have your help. But Venetian Night will also include a celebration in Millennium Plaza. We'll be working with Vic Thierry from Harbor Country Adventures. We'll have a band, we'll have food, music, lots of fun. So after the boat parade, boaters can come over and hang out at the festival. I think it's going to be a really great time. This year's theme will be Red, White, and Blue Cruise, kind of staying with the patriotic theme across all of our events. Obviously the Patriotic Parade, the Kitty Parade, the Venetian Night. But each year we'll change that theme. Some of the themes are Christmas in June, Haunted Harbor is one of the ones that we've talked about. So just try and change it up every year. And of course, everybody knows the boaters will decorate their boats, come through, play music, and just have a great time. The next event on the schedule that will impact Washington Park and the Port Authority is fireworks. Fireworks will be held on July 4th. I have been in extremely long negotiations with the Army Corps of Engineers regarding the lease of the pier. Our lease is up this year. It was up last year, 5-year lease. Previously, the 5-year lease cost the city, I believe it was $400 for a 5-year lease. The new lease price is $4,000, so it's a 900% increase. So I've been going back and forth with the Army Corps of Engineers trying to figure out a way that we can reduce that fee, hopefully drastically. Filled out an application, I've sent it in, so I'm waiting for them to get back to me. So hopefully we'll be able to get that sorted out. Then after the fireworks, as I said, on Labor Day weekend, September 2nd through the 5th, we will be bringing back Oktoberfest. Oktoberfest, one of Michigan City's most well-known and long-standing traditions, celebrating Labor Day weekend with an event that is the single most requested event by Michigan City residents. Oktoberfest will feature multiple live music stages, local and regional food vendors, art, craft, and merchandise vendors from all over, basically using the foundations from the past to bring this event back and build it even bigger and better. So we've got the Sand Festival at the start of the year to kick things off. We've got Venetian Night in the middle there. Of course, we've got the Great Lakes Grand Prix and the Aqua Cross jet ski racing mixed in from the CBB. And then that year would be Labor Day weekend. Oktoberfest will kind of close out the summer. And then really the last event that kind of impacts the park, but not as much the boaters, is the Festival of Lights. I think the park did just absolutely an amazing job, in including the Port Authority for the lights. It was just beautiful. We got nothing but compliments. We did a small celebration over at the Senior Center last year. This year, that celebration is going to get bigger. We're going to have live music. My hope is to have a live petting zoo, including some of Santa's reindeer. We will move the Santa house over to that actual location for the event. I've also been working with the LaPorte County Draft Horse Association to have wagon rides through the park. We ran into a little hitch last year with an ordinance as far as having a license to do that. So we're working through that this year, but we want to have horse-drawn carriages. We also want to have ice carving, carolers, so we're really going to make it a large-scale event. I'd be happy to answer any questions anybody might have. Yes, sir.
I'm curious how you're going to promote this. Are you going to promote it simply locally, or are you going to promote it outside of the Michigan City area? Or?
We're working on outside of Michigan City area. I've been in touch with some of the TV stations both in South Bend as well as Chicago, especially for the larger events. The Singing Sands Festival is really the one that I think is really going to take a lot of promotion. Obviously, social media is big for us. The Sand Lovers, the company that we're partnering with, they have a very large network of people who will travel miles and miles to come and see an event like this. And fortunately, when you think about it, the people that go to these events down in Florida, most of them have homes up here, and so we have an event up here. I think I'm really excited. I've also had some conversations with South Shore and NICD. They're going to work with us on putting posters in the trains to help advertise the event. And this is a first-year event, and in all reality, I'm not sure how much you all know, but this is really the first year that the city has put a person in this position and given them a budget and given them the opportunity to actually go out and try and do some of these things. I know that there's been people in the past who've worked hard and had some great events, but this is why the partnership deck that you see in front of you, I'm going out because I want to get the community involved financially. The more financial support we can get from the community, from our local businesses, the more money we have to advertise this and bring more people in. Again, I want to make these events really special for our residents, but we all know that it's important that we look outside of our community, because people outside of our community want to come to events at our beautiful lakefront, and they want to spend money at our local businesses, and that's what's important to all of us.
All right, thank you, Terry.
Yes, sir. So if anybody has any questions after you go through the deck, my information is on the back page. Please feel free to reach out to me. If you're interested in getting involved, especially in the Nation Night, which I'm going to need a lot of help with, one of the things, if you go to eMichiganCity.com, go to the special events page. All of the events are 7 events plus, I believe, 11 other events that are being hosted by third parties throughout the city are on there. If you click on any of our events, it'll take you to a home page. There's information about sponsorships. There's information about how to volunteer. That's the biggest problem I'm having right now.
That was my next question.
I'm going to need a lot of bodies to help with this. And the volunteer sign up right now has been slow, but I'm hoping once the weather gets warm and people start getting excited that we'll get some more volunteers. And yeah, it's going to take a lot of people to put some of these events on, but hopefully we'll get there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great, thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
No problem. All right. So, Sam, you're up for budget and financial oversight and review of the bills. I'll read off the bills for you since I don't think you have a copy.
I don't have access to the bills, and I appreciate it. The chair will take care of that.
So, not a problem. So we have bills totaling $32,113.09. NIPSCO being a large bill, of course. Dunker Sloot and Sons is for replacement of parts for jet skis. That's how much damage this winter caused. And I don't know, did we order any more
We got a few extras in there.
extras too? Okay. So that's what the big bills are. So I'm looking for a motion to pay the bills.
I make a motion that we pay the bills.
Second. Any comments, anything else? If not, we're moving on. Okay.
We got to vote. We got to
Yeah, vote, yes, I'm sorry. All in favor to pay the bills?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we're making, paying the bills. John Hayes is not present at this time, so we will not go over that, because I don't know of anything to report. Port operations, that's me, personnel. Marina, really not anything to go over at that point right now, so we're good there. Dan Messina, Order Communication Special Events, Venetian night, any insight there?
Probably the big thing on here is border communication is almost nothing since nobody's in the water. I don't see anybody this time of the year. Some of the special events such as the Venetian night, talked to Mr. Terry on this, and we are going to get together and discuss more. I've got some thoughts and ideas because I was involved years ago with not only helping and assisting running it, but also as a participant in it. It always has been a lot of fun.
I think Amanda, your family has some of the experience there, so I'd
Yep.
like to put you two in the committee to cover the Venetian night.
Oh yeah, we're on it.
Okay, perfect. All right, anything else?
So pretty much that's it. That is it.
Bruce Mayer, Master Planning and Special Projects.
I have nothing to report on that. Either one of them.
Okay. Then Amanda Buechner, Advertising and Public Relations.
Gotta meet with Terry still, and then I'll have a lot more to report about what events we'll be sponsoring. And getting this packet from Terry definitely helped with deciding on what events we're gonna get involved with.
All right, so attorney's report, Mr. Zachman, I assume you have some things to cover.
A couple of things. On Friday, Mr. Frame and I went and toured the wooden boardwalk, and Tim, would you estimate it's what, like 800 feet?
900.
900 feet? So it's 900 feet of boardwalk, and there's some maintenance that is needed. There are some rotted planks. Then there's, what do we call that structure? It's
A little picnic area.
a little picnic area that is in dire need of some repair. The wood on the stairs going up there completely rotted, and then there are a couple of big holes in the decking there, underneath there. So hard to estimate what it would cost in terms of repair up front, and then annual maintenance. I mean, maybe that's something we can put our heads together and try to figure out what it's going to be. But the most important thing that I discovered, and Mr. Frame was kind enough to send me over several documents, one of which I've been able to get through, and it is the permit that allowed Blue Chip to expand their operations. And in connection therewith, they had to build they took out the peninsula, and then they had to build the 900-foot wooden boardwalk, presumably for people to fish on. And it provides the wooden boardwalk must be open to the general public year-round except when unsafe conditions exist, such as ice. Fishing opportunities must be allowed on Trail Creek and the basin side of the walkway. So if we accept this donation, presumably we're going to, unless there's some other document that says that's no longer in force, we would have to keep that boardwalk open to the public. And I don't know, do we have to have somebody there to keep an eye on it? Do we have to have security there? Are we going to be liable if somebody injures him or herself? Fishing, it seems odd for fishing because it's like 15, 20 feet up in the air. So, and Blue Chip right now has it locked. So it's not accessible to the general public year-round. There wasn't ice there when we went on there last Friday. So for some reason, they're not adhering to this requirement. I don't know if that's because some subsequent event has occurred or some subsequent agreement has made it so that they can keep it locked, but it was locked. It was not open to the public. I don't think we're going to, if we take the donation, I don't think we're going to be able to just put a lock on it and say the public can't go there, because this requires it to be open, at least based on what I've read so far. So we've got some more due diligence to undertake, but at this point it looks like if we do take it, we've got to make it open to the public and we've got to allow people to fish off of it. The second thing I wanted to cover was I do have some time this week, if Thursday would be good for staff and Mr. Childers to meet, so we could start doing the investigation for the report, the annual report that I give on the internal controls, policies, and procedures. So if you could just email me with what time would be most convenient for you. I've got some time on Thursday. Nothing in my schedule right now. Thursday morning would probably be best. And that's all I have.
All right.
President,
Yes.
your question?
Yes.
It's not just a question of that boardwalk, it's also a question of maintaining that whole peninsula.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about dumping a lot of money. I mean, it makes much more sense to build our own bathhouse rather than to go through all of that. I mean, that's what this is all about, you know, it's all about getting a bathhouse for our people over there. And if we use that and as you do due diligence on that, if you find out there's other problems with it, this is going to cost us a lot more money than a bathhouse will, I think. I mean, in my opinion. You know, when you talk about all the repairs and all the maintenance we have to do over the years on that place, I think it's silly. I mean, that's just an opinion I have, so I wanted to put that out there. I'm definitely in favor of a bathhouse, whether it's that one or whether it's one we're going to build. Whichever direction we go in. Hopefully, the rest of the board has given us permission to do that bathhouse, and we got it on hold right now. In fact, for me to even talk about it, what I should have done is I should have brought it onto the table here because it's actually tabled. But I apologize for not bringing it back onto the table, but I wanted to make those comments about it. Thank you.
Yeah. And Tim will correct me if I'm wrong, but there's a large asphalt parking area there now, but a lot of it is cut off because of the fence. There's two fences that has a narrow walkway so that people, the public, can get to the boardwalk. If we were to take that, if it does have to be open to the public, then we would remove one side of the fence or both fences.
Well, I think we just reroute it.
Yeah, put it more toward the blue chip side.
Right.
And then that would open up more parking where we could put trailers and other things. And then one other thing, those market schooners, is that what they're called? Or
They're
shells?
rowing halls or something.
Yeah, well, there's three of them. They're, I don't know, 20, 25 feet long. They're still there. They've got to be worth something, but I don't know.
I'll make a call down to Culver. I got contacts with the crew team.
Because they're just sitting there and they're just,
Going to waste.
yeah, nobody's using them.
He said he's there at CMA too, so I'll make that call.
So prior to the next meeting, I'll get through the rest of the documents that Tim sent along. I'll get in touch with Blue Chip and find out why they think they can put a lock on that and see if I can get to the bottom of it and then report.
All right. Any new business? Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, maybe just to comment on this, didn't you read unsafe conditions? It must remain open unless in unsafe condition.
Weather.
And right now it's not only weather, but it's unsafe condition because of the condition of the walkway. So
Yeah, that may be why, but they've got an obligation to maintain it, I suspect. You can't let the thing dilapidate to the point where it's unsafe and then say, well, it's unsafe now because we let it dilapidate. We're going to throw a lock on it. Sorry, public, you can't use it. But I agree with you.
Yeah.
I would not want anybody to go there because the first thing they're going to do is hit those weak spots. Somebody is going to put a leg through one of those rotted boards.
I can probably almost guarantee that 93% no one has ever walked that to fish off of that walkway. No, I don't know.
That's probably right. I mean,
With some wording like that, I've walked the thing myself.
Yeah. We saw one Maker's Mark bottle. Suggests to me that was a popular spot. The teenagers and others would be there, and you'd see evidence of people being there.
But can that agreement be rewritten? Voided, altered, changed?
Don't know. That's why I've got to get through the other documents to see if there are amendments, if they have changed it, and if so, this was, I think, from 2004. So it's almost 20 years ago. We may be able to renegotiate something.
Who would we negotiate with?
Probably DNR, because I think with DNR, because DNR issued the permit. That's my guess.
Yeah.
Or perhaps we'd want Blue Chip to do the renegotiating and then we accept the gift.
Plot thickens.
Yeah.
Plot thickens.
Had a frog in my throat.
All right, so any new business to cover? Old business? Sorry.
I just,
President, when you have a moment, I have a question for Tim.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to make a suggestion. Maybe at our next meeting, or one of our meetings, we could invite our new employee here to meet everybody. I have no idea who he is or what he looks like.
He won't be here till April 18th.
Oh, he doesn't start till April 18th. Okay, all right.
Right.
Sounds good, thank you.
But otherwise, fine.
Yeah.
All right, Sam, you had something?
Tim talked about the 700-800 dock electrical earlier, the delay in getting one of the major electrical boxes. I know you guys are all looking into it, but it's, boy, I hate to delay putting boats out on the last part of that dock. If there's anything we can do to get to expedite delivery, just throw out my 2 cents worth.
I agree.
Okay. I just wanted.
Wednesday should enlighten us on some of that, Sam. The meeting they're having Wednesday, that should enlighten us on what's going on. So we'll
Sounds good.
follow back up on Wednesday. So any other new business to talk about? Old business, the dining cruise boat, I haven't heard any updates. Blue Chip and Sprague, we covered that for that point. Employee lunch, did we get any further with that?
Not a lot. I have talked to some of the staff about it, and because of course COVID being a problem for so long, and now with new employees coming in, we may delay it to have something in the summertime. Just a picnic maybe out here in front. So it's still an open item.
The Hobie Camp proposal, we haven't heard anything more on that. Bathhouse tabled. Mr. Freeze, glad you were here. Did you have anything?
No, I'm just glad to hear that the Port Authority's on with all these summer activities, especially for where the boats are. Looking forward to a great summer. Appreciate your help.
You're welcome. So with that, if there's nothing else, I have a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
We are adjourned.